This video takes you through the replacement of the oil cooler on the Land Rover Discovery 4. This is a 2010 3 litre SE version. So let's start the disassembly. I'll try and take you through it stage by stage, but I've no doubt missed a few clips, but I think you'll get the idea. So to drain the coolant, we will remove that pipe there. That should be sufficient. And now to remove the oil separator. This kind of pulls out, as you'll see. It also has a large pipe at the back. Removing the glow plug harness. Could only get the one marked R, which is actually on the left hand side of the frame there, out. The one on the right is blocked in by a bracket at the rear. You need to remove the front 4 glow plugs. And now for the 6 bolts that hold in the oil separator. So I continue struggling to take the thing out the approved way. You can see here a video which you can find on YouTube is the approved way of doing it. but in reality it just doesn't fit. I spent more than an hour trying to jiggle it into position to do it. At this stage I hadn't removed the left hand glow plug harness. This is in the way, it's got to come out. So then I decided to remove the bracket which is attached to the fuel pump at the rear there. That then gives you access and you can remove the harness. Okay, I've struggled with this thing now for considerably more than an hour, and even though there is a Land Rover video out there that shows it being removed, frankly that's a work of fiction. It's just not enough room. I suppose it might work on a Discovery 3, but on this Discovery 4 it's not happening. Now there are a couple of ways of hacking this and making it work. One of them is to cut a portion of that off. Now I'm not happy with that. I don't think that these are really good enough anyway for the job they serve. The seal's not fantastic, so I'm reluctant to do that. Another way that I've seen is to remove that. That's part of the oil separator, and it is the thing that's in the way. Now the oil separator which is that fella there, has two pipes that go into the block. That pipe that goes into also goes into the block, a tube. And this thing, now that's the thing that goes into that hole. That part there goes into the hole. Also you've got a small tube there and that hose at the back, and that hose at the back is really quite well supported. So if I were to lose that bracket, I don't think I'm really losing anything. I hate to do it, but I don't think I'm left with any other choice, because I can't remove the manifolds. That's just a crazy job. So I think from here that's the direction I'm going to go. And finally it came out. I think you can see down in the valley here that there's an enormous amount of oil, which makes it almost impossible to prevent it from going into the waterways. So just to recap, here's what I had to take out to get this job done. Got the water crossover pipe there, had to go, as did all the other components you saw me take off to begin with. And I've had to take out the 4 front glow plugs, the oil separator obviously, and then the 4 brackets, the 4 bolts that hold this bracket on. That's so you can get the back connector off the rear glow plug. Without that it's in the way, so we had to do that. Had a clean up the best I can. The oil valley was actually almost completely full, or completely full, and it's so grubby down there, but what can you do? You can only reach so much, can't you? But the key point is that to do this I had to remove the oil separator bracket, and that's how much I removed. I'll put a photo in and a before photo. And that's the only way I could work out to do it. And as you can see, I haven't touched the inlet manifold tubes at all. So now to put it back in, which should, as they say, be the reverse of removal. We'll see. To cut the bracket off, I used one of these. That's a metal and wood blade. It was brand new when I started. Got to be so careful of the chips though. Block up all the ports before you do it and have a good clean around. So that's the old and the new separators side by side. These are the offending seals. I think you can see they're looking pretty flat, squished, and although there's no sign of splitting, they have to be what's causing my problem. And the other ones sit much more proud. They're also known for leaking at the join between the two halves of the separator. Okay, put it back in. I failed to video the reinstallation of the oil separator, but it went in pretty easy. Much easier than it came out, I can tell you. Here I am torquing down the 6 bolts that hold it in place. The torque gauge I'm using here is quite good. It has a range of between 5 and 200 Newton meters. That's one of those Chinese ones. The thing goes beep beep when you get within 20% range of your torque setting, and then will go long beep when you hit the proper torque. The annoying thing with it is that the whole body rotates while you're doing up the bolt, but apart from that, it's okay. Putting back in the glow plugs. I did a lot of footage of the reassembly. Here it is at 16 times speed. So that's the engine basically back together. Just got a fan shroud, top it up with water, and we'll see what happens. Don't think I've forgotten anything. This broke on me, so I had some silicon tube, vacuum tube, managed to manufacture another one. But things are getting brittle in here. Things just gradually break, unfortunately, but it's the age of the vehicle. It's 14 years old now and in a hot climate, so that's job done. Wasn't the easiest job that I've ever done, and I'm not happy that I had to cut that bracket off the fuel pump at the back there, but I don't think there's any other way of me doing it. I didn't like the idea of trimming down the manifold, so that's the route I went. All that remains to do, I've topped up the coolant and run it so it's to temperature. It's got the old oil in it still and the old filter, so next job will be change the oil and the filter and drop out the coolant, put some fresh in. A little bit of oil has got into the coolant. That's going to be hard to avoid, because when you take the oil cooler off, the oil goes everywhere, fills up the valley, so that's disappointing, but I suppose I'm going to have to live with that. But there it is. I hope the video was of some help to you. I wish I'd had a video like this when I decided to do the job, but such as it is. There are videos out there, but they don't go into every detail. Understandable, and I don't suppose this video has gone into every detail, but I've tried my best, and if you've got any questions, please ask. Thank you for your time. Oh, like and subscribe. Thank you.